Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, continuing with the good vibes that I've had ever since I went on vacation in Taiwan. So right now I'm living in a room. I found the owner of this place. It's a friend of a friend, and we have good vibes together. Um, and uh, one thing I noticed is that I'm a lot more assertive than I had been in years past. So one of the roommates, for whatever reason, decided to rent the common area. He crashes on the sofa there. He probably pays less than I do, which is fine. But he has some wonky schedules. He's a little bit of a heavy drinker, so sometimes he's crashed out on the sofa. And then he has the audacity to be upset that I'm cooking dinner at 7 p.m. in the afternoon. And then he makes noises moaning about the sound. He's too drunk to actually get up and be physical about it, but he moans about the sound. And I told him, well, do you want to talk to the owner to see if you can rent a room instead of the common area? I'm sorry, but I got to cook dinner. And I left it at that. I let him moan whatever he wants. And so I'm not going to be apologetic about it, just suggesting that maybe you can look for another room or something like that, right? And so that was that. In the past, I hadn't always been so assertive. But now that, I see things for what they are, I had a situation just like this 2 years ago, actually. I was living in a hostel at the time, and the owner of that hostel hired, I think it was a cousin, to manage the place. And he had this weird room that only had a curtain separating him and the kitchen. And then he would be really upset at all sorts of noises, right? It would be after hours. Okay, I'll give him that. It was 11, 12 o'clock at night. But it wasn't like I was listening to Taylor Swift or something like that. We're talking about me eating and maybe gently putting my utensils down or doing the dishes or maybe flushing the toilet with the bathroom door closed. And he would be upset that I would be up that late. Nobody else was complaining in the whole house, but he was the one complaining. And I think if you decide to live in a situation like that, whether it be in the common areas or the guy who was managing the room, he probably got a good deal, right? I'm guessing he got the housing situation for free, plus made whatever money managing the place, right? Or the guy crashing on the sofa drunk, he probably pays half of what I pay for the room. I think at that point you kind of forfeit the right to complain about those things, right? And unfortunately, I used to be vulnerable. At the time, I needed the place. I didn't have a lot of options, and so I allowed people. A lot of times, life isn't decided by who is right and who is wrong. Life is often decided by who has options, and I kind of learned that the hard way. And so that's why I need to make connections now more than ever. And so there's something else I need to learn. You guys may have been watching that I recently asked a number of girls out that were out of my league, and I actually got to go out with some of them. And the others I didn't get to go out with, it didn't turn out badly either. Life continued, peace was maintained, and we continued to have other events together. But I need to ask people out on dates, not just romantic kind of dates, but connection kind of dates, right? Would you be my future, potential business partner, right? Something like that, right? Because right now, the guy that I'm renting this room from, actually, this did kind of start out as a romantic date. A friend of mine from church had set me up on a blind date. And it turned into a friend instead of a date. And actually, the owner of this place is her ex-boyfriend, but we all get along together, so that's good. And I stand up for myself, and I'm not afraid to show the owner that I stand up for myself, right? Because it's a litmus test. If I lose the place over standing up for myself, I need to lose the place, right? That's the way I need to look at it. This is the Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum.